Hey guys, you know what's really cool? I checked out my YouTube analytics about a few minutes ago, which I haven't done in, I don't know, half a year. And it turns out each one of my videos gets like 3 or 4 hours of views, which it isn't much, but that's really awesome considering people actually spent the time to watch my videos, which means I feel like uploading all of a sudden again, which is awesome. It's pretty cool. Like, I didn't even know. So, yeah. Anyways, so continuing on, I recorded an episode, but I got so many interruptions in the middle, which usually happens if you haven't watched my videos before, that it became too jumbled up and messed up. So instead, I'll highlight all the things I did. I made some close range routes, not as an effort to make cash directly, but as an effort to increase my passenger count. And if you don't know why, it's because these quests are far more lucrative than actually trying to make money legitimately. So, yeah, of course, I'm taking the cheap road. That's just how I roll, baby. Always go cheap. Anyways, yeah, sorry if I sound so stuffy. I'm really sick, actually. It's just, I guess I was sick and I didn't feel like doing very much. So that's why I ended up doing this. So, anyways, what am I going to do right now is, first of all, I'm going to see if I have any leases, because if I have no leases, I can't afford very much, and it's going to be a pretty boring episode of reviewing. Oh, yep, well, it's going to be a pretty boring episode of reviewing, guys, because I can only buy one new airplane this turn, and that's obviously going to be a Tupolev's. You know what? Instead of an episode of actually doing things, I'm going to do some explaining this episode. Mainly being, I get a lot of questions about how you actually, well, I don't get a lot. I get a few questions, but are meaningful to me, because they're the only few questions I get, guys. So please leave comments of stuff. It really makes me happy. You'll make my day. Anyways, how you make money in this game is pretty simple, actually, because there's only a few variables the game considers when it decides how much money you make. And let's go to our financial tab for a second so we can look at all those numbers. So, obviously we have our net profit, which at the moment is 14,000, which is quite good. And our total income, which is 32,000. So your net profit is simply your total revenue. So all the money you make from passengers, airports, cargo, subtracted from all your expenses. And here on the right side of the screen, you'll see all the expenses we have. And the simplest way of putting it is the expenses, per aircraft you own is proportional to how much you paid for the aircraft in general. Fuel economy is an exception to that rule, where usually if you pay more, you'll get better fuel economy. So that's the only exception to the rule, but everything else is true. More people, more expenses. More speed, if there's more speed, actually, that's another exception. It's not more expensive, but more seats, more expensive. More money, more expensive. Longer flights, more expensive per flight, but you also make more money per flight. I'll talk about that later. And so on. So pretty much, the more expensive your airplane in general, the more expensive each airplane will cost you. And how you make sure that these big aircraft don't overexpend you is make sure if you do buy any big aircraft, they're at 100% occupancy with at least 1.4 price. What I mean by that is the multiplier here is pretty much telling you how much you're charging versus the base price line. And you always want to be, with 100% occupancy or less, but above 1.4 price. If you have, say, 1.6 price and you have 80%, 90% occupancy, that's fine too. You just need one of the two to be very high and the other to be high. So you need occupancy or your price to be high, preferably both. And when both are high, that's when you make the most money. How do you get both to be high? Well, the simplest method is actually just to buy small aircraft and put them on routes with no competition. For example, I buy Tupolevs almost exclusively at the start and lease other aircraft. And you can see this is a good idea because the Tupolevs are almost all full, especially the ones I started on the initial round. See, these guys are all full. Every single one of these airplanes. Well, not all of them. Most of these on this first list, or shoot, I accidentally pressed the X. Most of these in this screen, which are the ones I made on the first round, which I played, are nearly full and all have maximum pricing. And this means my profit margin is big. And that's what you want. And another thing is, how do I pick routes with no competition then, which will actually make me money? A good way to do that is you just look at your city, add up the numbers. Look here, it says 306, 250. That's about 550. General rule of thumb is, depending on your aircraft size, you need higher numbers. So for a Tupolev, 1,100 or higher is ideal. This means you can connect cities that are 500 and 600. For an example, Amsterdam to Berlin, or Berlin is really small right now. Don't listen to that. For example, Amsterdam to, I will find a city that's 500 soon. Amsterdam to technical difficulties. Okay, for this example, Amsterdam to Moscow. Amsterdam is 600 and Moscow is 550, so that's 1,550. That's obviously a very good route because it's not only above 1,100, it's extremely above 1,100. Well, it's by 50 points, but you'll be surprised how much that is worth. For example, another two cities that is above 1,100 would be, say, a city like Charlotte, which is about 500, to a city like Boston, which is, well, Charlotte is about, it's about 540, and Boston is about 560, so, no, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's about 560, so that works out. If you really can't find any routes for Tupolev 104s, you can go 1,050, and that's generally enough to make a good profit too. And here's a list of all the important airplanes in this game and the numbers you want. So Tupolev 104, 1,050 at minimum. A Boeing 707, 1,100 minimum. DC-8, 1,100 minimum. A DC-8-62, which will come out later in the game, 1,100 minimum. Tupolev 124 is 1,000 minimum, and I'll tell you why this is amazing. Now, the Tupolev 4 hasn't been released yet in my server. I'm not even sure if it's still in the game. It's certainly in AT01. And the reason why this plane is the best is it's a very small airplane, and you can connect literally anything with a Tupolev 124 because it will always fill up. And for example, London, it's already, at the very beginning of the game, 750. Which means, if you only need 1,000 points, almost any city works. Just click any city. Almost every single, like there are so many cities you can find just by scrolling around that are worth more than 250. Just look at these. Ankara, that's 250. Chinso, that's 250. That's not 250. That's not 250 either. That's 200. That's not even big enough. That's pretty small. That's pretty sad. Copenhagen, 250. 250. Look at all these cities. These are all freaking 250 and would all connect to London with a Tupolev 124, which is why that plane is so strong. And anyways, guys, I've gone on a bit of a rant. Haven't really accomplished anything in this episode. Did I even use my Tupolev 104? No, I have not. Okay, so time to use what I've been explaining for like 10 minutes. Put to use, well, that was uneventful. I already found it. Paris to Barcelona. Oh, damn. Paris airport is full. You know what, that's such a good route, I just want to occupy it, because Paris, as you can see, like, I can request slots later always, but I can't always get this monopoly back, because people tend to avoid lines. If you avoid... did I mention this at the beginning? I forget. Anyways, if I didn't mention it earlier, the most important thing is no competition, and we have no competition. So, that's perfect. Anyways, so, in this order of priorities, you should consider no competition, airplane size, and city numbers. If you consider all those, you should be doing fine, no matter what. I know it wasn't the most concise explanation, but I'll just try and make it clear by looking through my routes. And they're all small aircraft, they're all in high numbers, and not a single competition route. And hopefully, at least you understood a little bit about how to make more money in this game. And if you really are confused, if you just keep watching these videos, you'll eventually see how I play the game, how I just go through and pick routes. It may, I don't know, maybe it seems magical that I can just find monopoly routes, and you'll also see how, oh, what the fuck. Hold on, guys, hold on a second. Shanghai to Guangzhou is an incredibly good route. It's just so good, like holy smokes, I'm amazed. I'm so amazed. I'm gonna change my Barcelona route to here immediately because this is much better, so much better. Where is it? Barcelona. You know, that's a really good route, Paris to Barcelona. In fact, I'm gonna take it hopefully next round. But damn, Guangzhou to Shanghai is insanely good because, like, add up the numbers. Guangzhou 600, Shanghai 650. That's, I can't even do math. 1250. That's so good. I can put a freaking, later on I can put airplanes like 777s, 747s, DC-10s, like any big aircraft I can put on a route like this because it's worth so much. Yeah, 1250. That's insane. That's insane, guys. Anyways, now we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next turn. I realize turns are 2 hours now too, so that's great. I like 2-hour turns much better. And I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.